Whoa, Nelly, Coach Stoney, you got a lot on this one. You got to multiply by an absolute value and adding to it and everything. Yes, I do. But here's what we're going to do first. We're going to pretend the absolute value is like a variable itself. And the first thing I want to do is I need to get the absolute value by itself before I can actually do absolute value, like whether it's an and or an or and those kind of things. So first off, would you rather do the multiply or the add? Well, it's usually easier to undo the adds first, so I would undo the adding 3 by subtracting 3. Well, 3's will cancel, and 31 minus 3 becomes 28. Now it's the same problem. Now I have this 4 times that, so the best thing to do would be just simply what? Divide it all by 4. Now to do that, I'm only going to cancel this 4 and this 4. I'm not going to divide 4 into that because it's being multiplied by it, so by dividing by 4 here, I've taken care of that operation. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So notice, now I have the absolute value greater than equal to 7, meaning that it is a OR type problem because I'm looking for values bigger, meaning answers like 8 and negative 8 are larger than 7. So I'm going to write down the word OR. I'm going to keep this one exactly the same except get rid of the bars. And remember, now we're going to flip the sign and make it negative. I keep the 2x plus 3 on the left, flipped the sign, make it negative, and so let's go work it. Basically, I'm going to what? Subtract 3 from each side, and negative 7 minus 3 is going to be negative 10. Those are going to cancel. I'm going to divide by 2. I'm not going to flip any signs now because I'm dividing by a positive 2. So that gives me x less than or equal to negative 5. And what I did here is what I'm going to do over here. I'm going to minus 3. Only 7 minus 3 is 4. So 2x is greater than or equal to 4. Divide by 2 again. No flipping any signs. So x is greater than or equal to 2 because 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I'm going to have my number line. I have negative 5 and a 2. Notice this time they're going to be solid dots because they have the bars. And I'm looking for values of x less than negative 5 and greater than 2. Wow, so that's the OR. Now I want you to show something. Notice, what's the difference between these two right here? The only thing is the what? Sign. So the problem is going to be start out the same. You still got to minus the 3, which gives you this. 31 minus 3 is 28. I'm still going to divide by 4s. So I have this. But this time it's an and, so I'll get rid of the parentheses and just put the negative 7 on the other side with the thing pointing the same direction. All right? And what happens on all of these is, notice, on this one, the positive value is always 1 and the negative value is always the opposite, whatever it is on all of them. Helps makes the problem work. This is an and. I'm going to subtract 3 from all of these, and negative 7 minus 3 is still negative 10. That one goes away, still 4. And I'm going to divide them all by 2. So I have this. I have the same thing, except this time my negative 5 or 2 will have dots on it. But instead of looking for values smaller than negative 5, I'm looking for bigger. But instead of bigger than 2, I'm looking for smaller. So it goes in right there. That was the difference. The only difference was when the sign was the other way, they went out. Here they're pointing the same. So less than, they go in. And they only overlaps. And you only color in the overlaps. So what did we learn? Well, we learned absolute value, how to work one of those. Basically, that's an and problem. So you can just kind of include the sign going the same way with the negative value in front. On this one was an or problem. The greater than, you have to flip the sign and make sure you change to a negative. And we had several multi-step problems that we worked with absolute value. But we still kind of work stuff the same. You get the absolute value alone first. So there we go. There's our independent practice will be about absolute value, single variable worksheet.